Hello, and welcome to Nsorom's Journal. And today I want to talk about the news that has been going on in Gambia. Oh my God. We had several African American, and I should just say Africans in the diaspora, because one sister was from England, that have met their demise. The first one was Veronica Hastad. Beautiful sister. Let me show you a picture of her. Gorgeous sister. I watched her YouTubes, and she was a feisty, fiery woman. She was going in some of the shops and getting rid of some of the food that she felt was poisonous and toxic to our people. Meat that had expired, and she was throwing it out. And she wanted to build, and she was very excited to be in Gambia. One of her posts, she said, "Filling my people in Gambia." So before she was taken away from here, she did a video on, and I also want to say, I seen a video where she was actually paying some of the Gambians that didn't have jobs, paying them money to take garbage out for some of the neighbors in her area. So before she met her demise, she had been robbed while she was sleeping. And the next day she was videoing, and she said she felt as if she was in the den of lions. You know, it just had turned. She had done so much and so full of life to be there. The second woman is Audrey LaShawn Davis, and she passed away in October 2022. Here's a picture of her. She belonged to a sorority and went to a lovely college in America, was happy to go to the Gambia, bought some land there, and I think she had acquired a fiance. But shortly after acquiring the land and starting to build, she met her demise. And from what I understand, allegedly, the fiance got some of the land. Now, I'm not sure. The other person to leave America and go home with so much excitement was Sister Anje Africa. Here's a picture of her when she was on her way to Gambia, or shortly after she got there. And this is what she looked like before her demise. And right before her demise, you can see her podcast on YouTube. She felt like she had been stalked by a gentleman that she thought was going to be a good mate, but then she discovered there was something off with him, and she felt that he was stalking her. And she's no longer with us. The next person that met their demise, unfortunately, is Sister Shakina Chinadi. And she was at the helm of an organization called Africa Returnees Home Association. And they were doing a lot of good work in the Gambia. This is a picture of her. She was being interviewed by one of the news casts there in the Gambia. And unfortunately, on that day, she was done in by someone she had hired to work for her. I think it was near her birthday, and her daughter had sent her some money from Britain, £1,000. And when she turned her head, you can see the newscast on YouTube. When she turned her head, he hit her with a sharp object in the back of the head and took the £1,000 and I think her computer. And the police in Gambia later found out everything. Now, you will find quite a few accounts of this on YouTube. But what I find is the opinion that goes along with the news, particularly from some of the men that are delivering the news, is I feel like they are victimizing the victim. And what I mean is they're blaming the victim. That's how I feel. Because they're saying, women, when you come to Gambia, don't come by yourself. You have to have a man with you or a son. Um, and I just want to say that women have always been at the helm and on the front line of revolution, are making change. That's why you find so many women going out. In Ghana, it was Yaya Ansantawa that told the Ghanaian men that if they didn't get up and fight, the women would against the British. So the real problem is changing the ideology and the ill thought that exists in Africa. We have to lift up our women and cherish our women. The enemy is poverty and miseducation. And this is what Kwame Nkrumah talked about in his book, Africa Must Unite. So I think that we have to look at Pan-Africanism. How did that start to come about? Read some of the books on it. Equate yourself with the enemy of Africa. It's not just capitalism and imperialism. It's also miseducation. And we have to eradicate that and praise our women and lift them up. Now, I want to say that I am not new to Africa. I've been traveling to Africa since I was in my early 20s. I first went to Zimbabwe and I stayed in the headquarters of the PAC, Pan-African Congress. So I am a Pan-Africanist. I have traveled to Ghana, Guinea, Zimbabwe, Senegal, Gambia. I just bought land in Gambia a couple of years ago, me and my daughter. And I have been to Kemet. Some call it Egypt. So when I was in Gambia and we were looking for land, we bought land from S&S Properties. And one of the gentlemen there, my daughter interviewed, we both interviewed him together, and I'm going to post it. And he talked about if Africans from the diaspora are going to come, that they need to set up compounds and understand the culture here. And at the compound, there needs to be a leader. So if someone comes, they have to speak to the leader of the compound. And it's organized in such a way that the women are protected because the men are met first. And then behind that are families and then the elders. So it's not for the women, it's for us as the people to organize ourselves. And don't blame the victim. If you know the women are there alone, then get up off your butts and let's organize these compounds and check on people. Thank you. That's all I have to say for today. And I will see you again on Nsoroma's Journal. One aim, one God, one destiny.